Here's something cool I found at the thrift store a while back for $5. It's an AST Premium Exec 386 SX20. This is a laptop from about 1991, I think. It has a 386 processor, a 386 SX to be specific. It's the one that has the 16-bit bus, so it's quite a bit slower than the DX when it comes to 32-bit operations, but you're not really going to do much of that with this. 2 megs RAM, 40 megabyte hard drive, all that good stuff. This thing was in perfect condition when I got it, pretty much, except for like a sticker here and a little bit of yellowing. I didn't have the power supply with it, so I had to kill the battery to sort of get it to work, but I'll show you that later. Everything in this computer works perfectly. Like the 40 megabyte hard drive, it's really quiet and it has no bad sectors and stuff. So I guess I'll show you what it's got. So first thing you can see is the 640 by 480 monochrome LCD display, and then down below there's a PC speaker. It's pretty quiet. Then you got the power switch, which is power. Yay! Turn it on, turn it off. Got the brightness and then the contrast. And next to all that, you got all these power LEDs and hard drive and all that crap. Then we got a small membrane keyboard with very small travel distance. Then you also have the button that it pushes down and you close the lid so it knows when it's shut. I disconnected that because it's annoying. So let's shut this thing and show you what it's got on the outside. First thing I saw when I saw this thing was the floppy disk drive on a box. I was like, what the heck is this? So it's a regular 1.44 meg drive. Then you have the battery compartment, which I won't show you yet. I'll show you that in a bit. And then you have this. Here you got all your I/O, including the power, keyboard, well, keypad, but you can put a full-size keyboard on there. The serial port, the VGA video, and the parallel. It also has a sticker for all the specs, but I already told you those, so no one cares. Then on the side it's got a modem that I'll never use. I don't know the speed of it, but I don't think it really matters anymore since this is not going on the internet anytime soon, or a network. Another cool thing is that you can take this panel off and get into the insides a little bit there. It also has the date of manufacturing, May 27, 1991. So that's pretty dang old. Well, it's 386SX. So inside this little area you got your RAM expansion right here, and then you also got your modem, which is in some sort of little expansion area. It's a lot of expansion, I know, but I wonder if they have any other sort of cards that would go in there. That'd be kind of cool if they had some sort of Ethernet, but I doubt they would have that like back in 1991. But this is a rather high-end laptop, I'm guessing, since it's the executive sort of thing. Now it's time to see the monstrosity that's inside the battery compartment here, if I can open it up right. And there's my cable for the power supply, which is a semi-modular PSU. I soldered the 5V in the ground to the battery terminals on the computer, since I could not get it to work with the power plug on the back. So we need this thing laying around with the computer, which is kind of a pain in the butt. If you didn't know this already, you can ground the green wire on the 24 pin or the 20 pin on an ATX power supply to keep it turned on when it's plugged in. This one has a switch on the back, so it's handy. So let's fire this thing up for the first time in this video after 3 minutes. Turn on the power supply and turn the computer, and voila, it's working. But it's not very visible because it's a monochrome screen. By default it's reversed for some reason, which you can change in the options menu. There's a program, a utility for the video, which is pretty cool. So let's check out a program that I found on the machine. It's WordPerfect 5.1, which is something you would find on most business computers back then, I'm guessing, because it's like sort of the standard, the word processing program that they would use back then. There was no Microsoft Word, only this. So let's stick a disk full of games into this thing and see how it fares in the grand vastness that is the DOS gaming computers. And I have Commander Keen on here. I don't have it on the hard drive since there's only like 12 megs left. I'll probably sort that out sometime. So, slow loading. Yay! Floppy disk transfer speeds for the win. So obviously these old non-active matrix LCDs are not really the best for playing games, as you can see. Everything's ghosting like mad. It's kind of hard to play side-scrolling games, but I bet you there's some games that would work a lot better with it. Not all are like side-scrolling, you know. But this thing plays games. I don't really have anything that is made for a 386 on this disc. I'll probably figure out something sometime or another. So speaking of games that this computer is way too fast for, let's run Alley Cat. With CGA, some of the colors blend together too much, so you can't really see very well. And this game's not usually my favorite. Obviously, you can't really see your cat when he's running around. And watch me die, because dying in this game is hilarious.
That's an oddly satisfying death.
This computer also has some software utilities, like this AST VGA configuration, where you can mess with the settings of your VGA card. You can inverse the video, so you can put it back to normal if you want. You can emulate different modes. It's all pretty fun to play with. Well, let's see what happens when you start connecting stuff to it, like this giant IBM Model M. This uses a PS2 connector, which is basically what this keypad is on the back of this computer, so we'll see how it works. And also you can plug in a big old VGA monitor, like the one I have sitting next to the computer. Of course the computer. So let's plug that in. You can also hook up a mouse using this serial port that's like right here, but I don't have anything that uses mice, so oh well. So let's go into that utility, like so, using the IBM Model M. Hit the power button on the CRT and then switch it to CRT mode, so we can see some awesome monitor action going on here. So with the monitor, we got all the colors in the world that is available to VGA. So we can play Commander Keen with all these prettiness colors. It's pretty. Look at the colors. So let's head over to the VGA configuration screen. Set it to CGA emulation and set the computer speed to slow. And play some Round 42, which is actually pretty freaking amazing that this thing can play Round 42 without any graphical glitches. Most VGA cards will not emulate this CGA mode pretty much at all without just like, you know, making it look like a complete mess. And also this computer isn't quite slow enough to play this. Like at regular speed is designed for an 8088, but it's slow enough, I guess. If you're used to playing it on 486s and Pentiums and other computers of the type. Also with the CGA emulation, you can play this in color too, which is, it's this game. But I put the CPU speed to low this time, so then it plays a little bit more like it would on the computer's designed for, so the controls aren't as spazzy. This game gets really spazzy with faster computers for some reason, and the camera is going out of focus. Hip hip hooray for all the red confusing my camera. Then about 5 minutes after you having trouble with this screen, you save the kitty cat, and you win the game, I guess. The stage, and you die immediately afterwards. Considering I'm not a fan of old laptops and their proprietary nature, this one isn't too bad. And usually you can't really find the power supplies for these. Most of the eBay auctions you see don't really have them, so you have to carry one of these around if you really want to get to work, unless you find a better power supply for it. I'm just lazy. But this thing is actually pretty dang good. I like it.